Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, people, wherever you may be, wherever you're tuning in from. Welcome very, very, very much. Welcome very much. Yeah, welcome very much. Welcome back to the Red Room. Another episode of the Red Room is upon us where we discuss everything Liverpool Football Club related. And there is tons and tons to get through today. And of course, when I am live in the Red Room, nobody likes me just talking to myself in a red room of echo, 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 echo. We like good people to talk to, and I have got some good people, and I've got some familiar faces, or familiar faces returning to the screen, as you see. And I'm going to go straight in. Instead of going to the people that have been on, I'm going to come straight in. I'm going to say, Cav, welcome. Ex-Red Fella, well, we're all ex-Red Fellas because Red Fellas is no more, but you never know. We may bring that back, demand, and if the love is there. Cav, the hell are you, fella?
I'm all right. I'm all right. Hey, look, the Red Fellas doesn't have to be something of old. If the people want it, Grizz, then they need to let you know. We'll bring it back. But I'm good. I'm great. Yeah, I think it's been not quite a year, but a long time since I've really been doing this stuff.
No, I'd say close to a year. Close.
It's really not far off. Yeah, it's really not far off. But nah, I'm not going to say I'm back. But look, I've got a place I can do these shows again and talk to you guys about football. And you know what? I couldn't not be ready because Liverpool are. I need to speak because there's so much to be excited about with regards to our team. So yeah, I'm so pleased to be back. I'm so pleased to be back involved again during a good moment and going into what looks to be such an exciting season.
Such an exciting season, such an exciting time to be a Red, and Red Room, Red Men, Red Fellas. Eroll's in the building as well. Red Cartel. What's going on, bro? Hosting big up shows on Red Men TV, taking selfies with the man of the moment, Rio. Not even the man of the moment, the kid of the moment, Rio. My brother Eroll is in the building. What are you saying?
Big up, bro. Big up. Yeah, man. Nice one for having us in. It's been, again, a bit like Cav. It's been a minute since we've had a little bit of a link up. I know we've been speaking on obviously back and forth over the last couple of days. So, yeah, so it'd always be good to just kind of jump back in on a show before the season kicks off and kind of get some of your feelings about obviously the transfer window, the sagas, the ins and outs, all that kind of stuff. So looking forward to getting into it. And yeah, I've been sitting on that picture with Rio for a while, we like obviously
you knew that's gonna come good one day. Because
yeah. Like it's obviously the old branding with Nike and all the rest of it, but I just knew, you know what, this kid's going to be special. So one day when he's on everybody's radar, we can upload it and say, yeah, we're proud to see. And again, that's only been 4 or 5 months, maybe 6 months, and the growth in terms of what he's been able to do on the field in that time has been good to see. So yeah, like everybody, really excited, but really glad to be back with you guys tonight. So big up everybody, big up the panel, and of course the people in the chat. Make sure you are doing your admin nice and early. Get those likes in, share the stream. You know what to do. Run it up.
That's it. See, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm talking. That's what I love about pros, man. Everyone knows about the game, the business, straight into it. He knew what to say, when to say it, how to say it. People, as you're joining us, as you're coming into the stream, you already know the house rules. We don't ask for much. All we ask is for a share, a little like, and subscribe if you haven't. And if you haven't subscribed to Anfield Index, I have no idea what you're waiting for. Probably the most comprehensive Liverpool coverage that I know from the fan media circuit. So check them out and go and subscribe. We've got the both Mo's in the building, so we have to differentiate Scouse Mo and Welsh Mo. Welsh Mo, what's happening? How are you doing? Hope you have been watching the preseason friendlies like you have been watching all the training ground videos and everything else. And I will get your analysis of what you thought so far, but fun, enjoyment so far, going well, right?
Yeah, going well. But I'm always a pessimist as well. So there's a couple of things I want to not get carried away with. I know we're all happy and all buzzing. And
we need an equalizer. Every panel needs an equalizer. Cav will smile and remember we used to have a lad called Conroy. I don't right? People now can remember Conroy. Conroy was the equalizer.
Big up Conroy, man. Big up Conroy every time.
When everyone was getting carried away, Conroy would be like, guys, just calm down. Just calm down. We're not that good.
And then when Conroy was going, you thought, yeah, the shackles are off. We're celebrating tonight.
So we really always need an equalizer, I guess, Mo. But you can explain your reservations and thoughts and opinions. I'm looking forward to hearing from you as well. Of course, next to you is probably Mr. Polar Opposite. Scouse. This is mad the way I'm saying it. Scouse Mo's in the building. Scouse Mo, are we winning the quadruple after watching us in preseason?
We're winning the 6-2-pull. We're winning everything. Nah, you know me, Grizz. Last season I was very optimistic because I just believed. But normally I'm a very realistic person. I'm quite pessimistic at times. But you know, last season's football was amazing, and you know, our pre-season so far has been really, really good. Yeah, loads to talk about. And if you don't mind, Grizz, the little shout out that I wanted to make in regards to so one of my good friends, Yusuf, is starting a new podcast. He's launching it this Monday. It's going to be launched on YouTube on Meet Talk Stuff TV. There's already some clips already on the TikTok channel. The TikTok channel is called Cuts Inside. So I'd appreciate anybody who's watching to just go over to TikTok, have a look at some of the videos that are on there. And then this Monday, it's going to be loaded on Monday. The full podcast will be there. I'll be featuring quite a lot. Yusuf, great football analysis, and a lot of lads from the area from Talk Stuff that are going to be on there. So I'd appreciate if everyone could just have a little look.
What have you
Cuts Inside, all one word.
Cuts Inside, all one word with a Z.
So toxic, so we know.
And the YouTube channel is called Made in Talk Stuff. So there's going to be other kind of things that are going to go on there. It's not Liverpool centric. It's going to be football focused. There's going to be all teams. There's lads from Chelsea fans, Arsenal fans, United fans. Everyone's going to be on there. And then the Made in Talk Stuff YouTube channel is going to have different bits and bobs on there as well. The lad Yusuf that I just mentioned, he runs like a football team within the area. Really successful football team. He's built it from the
GTA. Big up the GTA, you know, dog. Come on. Come on.
So you're going to see some videos on there. Really big things happening. So I'd appreciate if everyone could just go over there right now, subscribe, like, but also make sure you're on here, Anfield Index, and like and follow everybody who's on the stream right now as well.
Well, there you go, people. You know what I mean? We're trying to build a community. Again,
was that professional enough? Or
you're a legend, man. You're getting better and better by the week.
Still a while away.
You're getting absolutely better and better by the week.
Far away from Eroll's level, but I'll get there one day, hopefully.
Nah, come on, Eroll's a pro, innit? You know what I mean? But you're working your way up. You're working your way up. I'll tell you what, put the link in the chat while you're typing away and do that. So that'll be good. Guys, we must get into it because we've got so much to get through. And I guess the first thing we need to discuss is Tyler Morton's just been announced. We discussed it briefly last week. I think, Welshmo, I think we briefly discussed it. I'm not sure. Tyler Morton, 15 million, literally like every part of our business and everything we do at the moment is just puts a smile on our face and think, yeah, wow, fantastic work, right?
Yeah, brilliant. And I believe there's a 20%. What's the word? Buyout. Sell-on. Fantastic business. When we spoke last week, I think the rumors came out that there was 10 million. We thought, well, it's a bit low. And all of a sudden, we've got 15, which is great. I think that's an accurate price, and with the sell-on as well, which I think is even better. I think all parties are happy. He's a beautiful footballer. I just think he didn't get enough chances because we just had a beast of a midfield during the time he was here. But every time he did come on, and I felt he was comfortable, he played well, and yeah, he deserves a move. A lot of clubs were interested in him. A lot of clubs were. So I think picking Leon from his perspective and his development was something good for him. Yeah, definitely. So yeah, I'm going to watch from afar, see how he gets on, and hopefully he cracks on and he becomes the player or develops into the player we all think he got capable of doing, or being. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see. Great move for all parties, though.
Great move for all parties, and Cav, that's the theme of the summer, I guess. Every day was a great move for all parties. Literally, every time we speak about a transfer in or out, great move for all parties.
Yeah, and should we be surprised, really? This is kind of what we hoped for when we brought back in Edwards, is that we would start to, again, not that we've moved too far away from it, but again, do smart business that works, not big names, not not well, they have been big names to be fair, but big names that fit a plan, you know, and young players with talent that are about to explode and feed into not only the footballing style that our coach wants to implement, but the club's ethics as well, you know, good people as well as good footballers. So it looks like, and it's still early days for some of these guys, but it looks like every signing that we've made has been brilliant business. And those that have left us has been justified in one way or another. I think some fans may feel a little bit upset perhaps Diaz going, because he was a very likable footballer, a lot of fan favourites. People could probably justify a place in the Liverpool squad next season for him, but a level-headed fan would also appreciate that there's some talent coming through, and I'm sure we'll speak about it, and a team that shown us yesterday that they are evolving and getting better, and some players will just have to move on because of that and other reasons. So Diaz moving on, Morton moving on. I'm sure that there'll be perhaps Nunes in the near future as well, but all justifiable, which means that we're doing some brilliant business at the end of it, really.
Yeah, business is the name of the game, Eroll, right now. It seems off the pitch, on the pitch, everything seems to be smooth. People were questioning sort of, what does Richard Hughes do? Well, you know, and first and foremost, he's sort of slowly but surely showing us his true class and why we recruited him. It shows that Richard Hughes wasn't just a sentimental decision just because he's Edward's boy. This guy, you know, when do you remember when Ornstein done an article on sort of about Richard Hughes doing amazing work behind the scenes and really well respected, and you know, he's really highly thought of, and he's been impressing everyone. This is what Orney meant, right, Eroll? This is what he meant.
Mate, I'll be honest with you. I've been surprised. The fact that they've had a year to plan and prep, obviously, because they wasn't overly active in the last summer transfer window, kind of led me to believe that the signings we were going to do were going to be, you know, improvements. They were going to be players that we'd be looking to drop into that first team. Obviously, we knew certain areas of the pitch and in terms of the team needed to have some improvements brought in as well. But in terms of the acumen as businessmen, in terms of what they're doing kind of from a technical perspective of future-proofing this team now, looking beyond the Salah and the Van Dijks in terms of who can we look to attract and bring in that can be the future talisman for Liverpool Football Club, and can we get them bedded in while we've still got the old guard here to kind of pass over the baton to them. I think that's just been excellent. And I go back to, you know, people who might have been in the chat might have heard me say it a few times now, so, you know, again, a little bit of an apology on this, but you don't sign Mohamed Salah and Virgil van Dijk to 2 extra years if you don't promise them that you're going to bring them the goods home at the end of the day. And I think that was massive in terms of, that was the biggest indicator for me. Once I knew that they were staying, and you know, we'd kind of sewn up those contracts, I knew we was on for a big summer, because they're serious football players, and more importantly, with those being the 2-year contracts, it's about winning now. We are building to win now. So what does that look like? And in a world where you build to win now, you're targeting the likes of an Alexander Isak. You go out there and you sign a Florian Wirtz. You go and get 2 of the most upcoming fullbacks in European football that fit and can mould into the system that your manager's kind of building upon. And for me, obviously, there are other signings that we've done. One was obviously Mamardashvili. It's always due to land this summer anyway. But it's just how they've went about it. And you almost have that confidence. And we've been a good selling club for a number of years anyway. But let's deep it. You have that confidence when them man walk into a room, it's because they know that there's a deal to be made. It's not we're just going to feel it out, and we're going to throw out the feelers, and we're going to test the water, and we're going to just kind of, you know, bluff our way through some of these. No, these man ain't bluffers. These man ain't about here to play poker. This is 4D chess settings and chill. And that's what we've been on all summer. All of the moves that they've done, they've been well orchestrated. They've been well thought to do. Up until this point, I don't think they've missed a step. And we do our business in such a fashion that a lot of other teams now would probably be panicking if they was in our situation with the whole potential centre-back not coming through the door yet, and thinking, oh, I'm calm, bro. I know it's a foregone conclusion that we get our centre-back. Now, there might be 2 or 3 on the list, and there might not be the one that everyone's expecting in the marquee, but they'll have done their due diligence. They will know who is the right one for us for this particular moment in time. And if it's not marquee right now, then I'm fine with it. Whatever decision they choose to make, that's fine for me, because they haven't put a foot wrong so far this particular window. So long may it continue, but it just goes to show the level of or the caliber of the type of people we've got in these rooms, in these dealings. These aren't no joke, man. These aren't no hype men settings. These are proper top Don Dodders, and they're doing the business once again. And as I say, we're in a much better mental for it. I think most Liverpool fans this summer have either been really happy, might be some reservations, but I think we've been really happy across the board. And I think that going forward, yeah, it's very promising where they're concerned.
Scousemo, we're going to continue the show and start the as the banner says, Bilbao match analysis, and people will say which one, which game. I think we're going to try to cover them as a whole, as a general point. Any indications in terms of what what we'll do? We'll talk about sort of the lineups, and if there's an indication into sort of the Charity Shield lineup, and so we know kind of what the starting lineup's going to be. But let's go with the first game. I don't think I need to. I don't think I need to speak about what stood out, who stood out, but still, I don't know what it means when people say, "Is it too early to speak on this kid? Should we hold back?" What's your thoughts on it? Because I genuinely don't like going overboard. Like, I joke around on Twitter with rival fans and we have banter exchanges, right? I don't like getting carried away because we've seen so many kids come through our ranks, right? And I know you're the same as well, actually. But my God, this kid, 16 years old, he looks special, Mo.
No, this kid is the real deal. Like, he is phenomenal. 16 years old. And the way he's playing football right now is like he's in his early 20s. He carries the ball, the maturity he has on the field and everything. He just looks spectacular already. But I agree with you. We shouldn't get carried away. We need to remember the kid is only 16 years old. And we can't be expecting the world from him just yet. But in terms of like how we will fit into the squad for us for next season, definitely I can see him getting some more minutes in the League Cup games, FA Cup games, and even in the Premier League games when we've got like, say if we're winning like 3-4-0, whatever, in the second half, bring him on for 20 minutes, let him come onto the pitch, gain some experience. But this kid's future is extremely promising. He's amazing. That first goal that he scored yesterday, the goal that he scored yesterday, when he picks it up and he drives straight at the defense, and then without any hesitation, just slots it into the back of the net outside the box. 16 years old at Anfield. It was just like, what is this? Like, it's unbelievable. But then I also respect his mindset as well, because obviously we got him from Chelsea last year. And I feel like that was a big challenge for him in a way. Like, he could have stayed at Chelsea, but he's seen a route into the first team at Liverpool. It would be very difficult still at Liverpool, but like we know Chelsea, what they're like. They're notorious in bringing in a lot of players. The overhaul of players is quite constant. With Liverpool, there's always like an avenue into the first team. He's left his hometown where he's grew up, where his family and friends are, to move up to northwest of England, to play for obviously the biggest club in England. But he's challenged himself at such a young age because he believes in his talents. He believes in how good he is. He believes he can make a difference now. And we can see scope for him in the Liverpool team, in the Liverpool squad next season, because currently we've only got really Gakpo at left wing. He could be the understudy to Gakpo. And say, God forbid, but say something happens to Gakpo, then Ngumoha's minutes could also increase. He could see a lot of minutes next season. And I think that's like the route, the avenue that he wants to take. He's seen an opportunity at Liverpool. He thought, place where I can excel. And I'm just so excited to see the future of him. And not just him, another one that really stood out to me in the first game was Trenioni. Like, that kid is unbelievable, honestly. How old is he? I think 17, 18 years old. You can see that he's bulked up a little bit from last season. Last season already. He looks like he's turned into a little bit more of a man. But it's the maturity level. When we bought this lad from Leicester, I'm pretty sure he came in as a right winger or a left winger, a winger anyway. And then he played a lot at Cam. Yesterday he was playing as centre-back. And he was not phased. He was calm and he was composed. He was coming out with the ball. He was always finding the right pass. Those two, honestly, are really a breath of fresh air. but we also need to be very calm. We need to be steady with them, and their futures are going to be very, very bright.
Obviously, the best person to go to after that hype chat is Welshmo. Should we remain calm, or have you seen enough already to know? Because look, certain players, when you see something special, you're allowed to speak on it, because you're going to feel gutted that you didn't speak your heart. You didn't speak what you actually felt at the time. And I feel at the time of speaking, of watching and recording this, and watching him, how much I have. I genuinely think he has. I'm going to say it. I genuinely think he has the world at his feet. Oh, what's your thoughts?
Yeah, I'm still going to stay on the hype wagon for now, because he does hype you up, regardless of, like, everyone's saying he's too young, and I get it, but this kid just keeps giving us reasons to get excited.
Yeah,
and if he keeps giving us reasons to get excited, then get excited. Let's have fun with it. And the way I look at it, every now and then Liverpool pick up generational players or youngsters, let's say Michael Owen and so forth. And if a Michael Owen like that gets discovered, then we just got to run with it, but learn from our mistakes that we've done before. And that's, i.e., Michael Owen overplaying them and burning them out. Modern day football, obviously, there's a lot more medical things involved and a lot more techie stuff that helps us monitor all of that. So, but I just generally think, in my mind, I think someone said it in the chat already, and I thought, damn, you took my point away from me. I think he's going to get Chiesa's minutes straight away. I mean, Chiesa didn't get many minutes last year anyway, so he'll get Chiesa's minutes. And the early cup games, I think he's nailed on. And like, during a season, during a league, the odd 10 minutes there or 5 minutes here, there, when we're comfortably winning, I mean, you just bed them in slowly but surely. And I think fans are right to be excited, because he just keeps giving us reasons to remain excited. So I am excited. I think he's a brilliant talent. Again, someone else in the chat mentioned, let's not get too excited, because Ben Doak was like that a few years ago. And we hyped up Ben Doak, not as much as this. This is slightly different, I think. Even though Ben Doak came back and had a good game yesterday, I thought, and that's another talking point. Do we keep Ben Doak around? I actually thought he had a decent game yesterday. But yeah, with Rio, he's the truth, and at times we can't handle the truth, but he is the truth. And I think we should see a lot more of him this year. Touch wood.
Cav, Rio, Trey. I'm glad actually Scouse Mo mentioned Trey and Neoni, because he's been impressive as well. And I do like the way Slot has not. Cav, do you know, like, normally in pre-season, we see a whole heap of youngsters left, right, and centre, sporadically given minutes first half, and we don't know what to make of them and who's going on loan. I think he's been very particular, very organised, very coordinated, and only a few selected youngsters are on the tour and giving minutes. It's very, very obvious that they, we know which ones he's talking about, and it's Trey and Rio.
Yeah, and look, it's obvious. It's obvious now why, because what Rio has shown us in this preseason already. I mean, I'm with you guys. I think he has got the world at his feet. I think we generally could have just struck gold with this kid. I think that he might see more minutes than perhaps you suggested, Mo. I genuinely think he'll have some starts. I think he'll at least be getting half an hour in games. I see him as like the guy that comes on in the 60th minute. I think what he's already doing is too good to keep out of the side. Now, of course, there's a lot of development to go, and when it comes to sort of Premier League games, Champions League and things like that, it's, yes, the one-on-ones are great. Yes, beating your man's great. But you're going to have to learn that thing that almost Sadio Mane had to when he came to Liverpool, which is the knack of being in the right place at the right time in the box, especially with a player like Mo Salah that often wants to cut inside and put those balls into the box, or play a through ball to a third-man run or a winger or forward that's ran across his defender. And so he's got to have that movement in his game as well to really be what we perhaps need in our Premier League side and our Champions League side. And that's what Cody gives us. And Gakpo's shown that in the second game, that he still has that knack of being in the right place to score the goals. And ultimately, that's what's important. But the sort of wild factor that is Rio, and the ability to just create something from a standing start by beating this man is something that you just are going to need at times. And I just think it's a great option to have because it's completely different to how Gakpo plays. So if both players are on form, and Slot gets his selection right with which one he picks in which game, it's just amazing to be in a situation where you've just got the options there to be able to decide between one of the two of them. Because let's face it, there were periods again last season where Liverpool did struggle against some sides with a low block, and we probably would all have really liked a player like Rio as an option, just to come on and just say, go buy 2 or 3 people. Even if you don't score directly or get an assist, you're just going to cause mayhem. You're going to get the opposition thinking, because right now they look too set, they look too comfortable behind the ball. And so even if he's able to come into the team and just forget the stats, just the impact he'll have on the type of player that he is, he's going to be a massive asset already at such a young age. So I think he's got no ceiling, this kid. He could go to the very, very top. And I genuinely think he will, because he's at a place that will give him the opportunity to do so, surrounded by, and this is the difference now with when you were talking about players of old, Mo, is that he will have the pressure of being at Liverpool. Of course he will. And the minutes that he played will be important, but there's other players in the side that can create, that can score. There's other players that will feed him the ball and trust him, but also offer an option as well. And so I think he's not only in a great club, but he's with great players and in a great side to just allow his potential to really be fulfilled. And I'm so excited to be able to, I mean, I love this team anyway, and I love all the players, but just to have that young player that we can now watch throughout the years, I just get to sit back and we get to enjoy that development.
Eroll, you have a picture that's probably going to be worth quite a few bob. I suspect you have a selfie with young Rio.
It's got my face in it, mate. It's not going to be worth much. Maybe get the magic brush to erase me out of it, like, and it might go for a few quid.
I'm sure there's cats out there that can do that kind of stuff. So don't worry. Yeah. But talk to us about this kid. And you know what I want to know, guys? Do you remember last week? And I put the question on Twitter this week. If he's the 6th attacker, are we okay with that? But if he's the 5th attacker, knowing Mo's going to be gone away in AFCON, is that a bit unfair to put that much pressure on him? Because then he would become the 4th attacker. Where are you with that in terms of his squad role? And talk to us about this kid.
The kid's special. I echo all of the sentiments that everyone on the panel's kind of touched on already for me. I think one of the things that I'm looking for more than anything else in terms of his own development is one of the key things that I kind of noted doing the watch along yesterday was, if we are to use him sporadically, as a couple of the guys have suggested, between the best part of 15, 20, 30 minutes, when you start a game, your first thought is to attack and drive at the ball. And you might have, because I think it was the AC Milan game, especially yesterday, there was moments where he was clearly the outball. And we used that kind of system with Diaz a lot last season. The final ball would end up at Salah or someone who's supposed to be the striker, even if it didn't always work out that way. But the outball, when Liverpool were trying to transition from back to front, you used to go to that left-hand side quite frequently, and we'd see Diaz eat up the ground in order to get us as a team up the pitch. And we've already leaned into Rio's ability of pace, the fact that he can take on a man and he can run at defenders. Now, towards the back end of the game, I noticed that at one point, the only way that Athletic Club could really keep the reins on him was getting 3 men around him at the edge of the box. And I noticed that, that's the highest compliment you can pay a 6. Your head must just go boom. You just must get gassed. I've got 3 men on me, and I'm still trying to wear my way through and dribble into the box, which is phenomenal. But the point that I'm trying to make here is, there's a part of me that thinks if your minutes are going to be compressed, your decision making still has to go up 3 to 4 to 5-fold. Because when you've got 90 minutes or a game of 90 minutes, you probably wouldn't see a full 90 at Prem level. But say you had that 70 minutes, those opportunities for you to be the outball and to run at defenders turns into upwards of 7, 8, 9, 10 and upwards. And you can try something in all of those attempts. Whereas if you've only got 15 to 20 minutes, you've now got to condense all of that good work into a short space of time, which then adds to the significance of your decision making. So he's now got to understand and learn when he's making those runs, he might not get another 3 or 5 attempts to run at his man. It's now, is this the time to just cut straight in? And I seen, it might not have been the last game, it might not have been the York, it might have been the AC Milan game, because that was probably the one that I watched in full. There was a few occasions where he tried the same sort of pattern of play, and it almost broke down for him a little bit. And then in the end, he does eventually cut back in. It almost looked like it had been fed back to him that the decision maker has to be more decisive. And as soon as he picked up the ball within minute 2 the other day, yesterday even, he just went. And he just knew, and it was right. I'm going to just cut in, and they've all dropped off. Nobody's engaged me. The decision's already been made in my mind what I need to do here. So from my perspective, it gives me confidence that he's adaptable and he's still got loads of learning to do. But then it also gives me confidence that he will start to slowly get that instruction through to him, that you might not have the luxury of the preseason 60 minutes. You're in a competitive game where you're probably only going to get 3 or 4 dribbles at your fullback. You need to make them count. And what does that look like? Do you understand that this is the guy that you need to go on the outside of, or this is the guy that I can drop my shoulder and I can just beat him if I just do a little feint and go on the inside? And once you're in those moments and you've made that first decision, what's the next play? What is the next thing that you do? And that'll come with time. I'm not expecting him, as the guys have already advised. Let's not put too much pressure on him. He has to learn by making mistakes as well. So I think that the Anfield faithful will give him that luxury. But in terms of where he sits in the pecking order, he's a luxury, but he's a luxury in a position where Liverpool are operating from a position of strength. He should be somebody that he's not, we had Sterling, and again, I don't think it's fair to overly compare him to Sterling, but when Sterling had really established himself in that Liverpool side, after 13-14 going into 15-16, his vibe, or 14-15 I should say, his vibe was, well, you need me more than I need you. You need what I bring to the table more than what I need you right now.
It was a total different time. It was a total different.
Liverpool
in a different.
That's what I'm saying. We're in a position of strength with him where we can treat him as the luxury. And Sterling should have always been. He should have been treated as a luxury for probably another 18 months, but we just wasn't quite there yet. And his development probably eclipsed where Liverpool was as a team on the pitch at the time. Whereas I think with the likes of Rio, we're going to have such a luxury position to say, no, it's a as and when we need you situation. You can come in and you can give us your maximum, but you're always going to then, as a result, feel needed, as opposed to, hang on a minute, I know that I've got Liverpool by the short and curlies here, and I'm going to play to that. And I'm going to play up because there's an opportunity for me to move. This lad's future is firmly in Liverpool. He's not the type of talent that you go and send on loan in 2-3 years' time and say, go and develop up the road somewhere. Liverpool are going to mould him to be the type of wide forward that we want. And dare I say it, if we get it right, he could be a Mane regen. He really, as Cav said there, he really could be a Mane type of regen because he's got the confidence, he's got the electric feet, and he has got, I think, a high level of maturity for such a young age. What was we doing at 16, boys? Do you get me? Like, what was the man them doing at 16? It was not
that. We get censored.
Exactly. It was not scoring goals in front of the cop and celebrating like I've arrived. That's definitely not what.
Mastered the knee slide already as well. Are you kidding me?
In the locker.
Best knee slide since Emery can.
The one thing I've really noticed about him since he's come on the scene is, you're absolutely right. All of you guys have talked about his decision making and his releasing of the ball, and this is where Arne Slot deserves so much credit. That is pure Arne Slot telling him, listen, I'm used to technical players, skillful players, but it's all about how you utilize those skills and utilize your teammates. And you can see Rio playing wall passes with fellow players. He plays it into the midfield. He goes on the run. He knows how to, function with the rest of his teammates, and that is amazing for a youngster.